When you're on the semen retention and NoFap journey, good chances are you're going to relapse. Truthfully, I don't even like to use the word relapse, but it's what much of the community is talking about. Oh, I relapsed. I see it on my comments. I see it on other guys' comments. And I want to address it head on. So I'm going to share with you a couple things that you can do when you quote unquote relapse in your semen retention journey. Let's get into it. Hi, my name is Nakula Das and I help men master their sexual energy so you can become a powerhouse both in and outside the bedroom. Go to the link below in the description. There is the free ejaculation control guide where I'm going to share with you a 10-minute routine that you can do over the next 7 days to notice a massive difference in your own ability to control your ejaculation and therefore all other compulsive behaviors. When it comes to relapsing, first of all, I want you to reframe that. If you've been ejaculating every day, or you've been masturbating every day, or you've been addicted to porn, or even just casually watch porn, it's not going to be easy just to give that up. There's going to be a period, and depending how serious you are, it could be a period of years where you are slowly going to be transforming your habits. Now, the deeper that you dive into a practice, get mentorship, really learn the techniques to transmutation, the quicker that's going to go. That's why I recommend, starting with the ejaculation control guide. But either way, even with all that, good chances are you still may relapse, and it's okay. So the first thing I want you to do is reframe it with this process. It's a debriefing process. It's something that one of my coaches taught me years ago. And I've used with all of my personal clients ever since then. Start off with what worked about what it is you did. So let's say you went for 3 days, you went for 7 days, you went for 3 months, you were planning on going for a year. It doesn't matter. Whenever you relapse, just whatever period of time that you were able to hold, even if it was 15 minutes, say, great, what worked in that 15 minutes? What worked in that 90 days? What worked in that 30 days? What worked? Well, what worked is I had the intention, I did put down my phone, I tried to go to bed early, I did try as best as I can, I really was conscious that I didn't want to ejaculate, but I still did, but I was conscious, or maybe I was edging, but then I went too far. So what worked? Just first lay out what worked. And give yourself some credit. If you've been ejaculating daily and you now went 2 days and you quote unquote relapse, that's actually better than what you've been doing all this time. So give yourself credit and look at it really long term. Say, hey, this is not an easy thing. It's a powerful thing. It's worth it, but it's not an easy thing. And so give yourself credit. Then once you've given yourself credit, and therefore you can approach it with a more, not such an emotional state, not in a state of defeat, now you can approach the relapse or the ejaculation and say, why did I ejaculate? One, if it was a conscious ejaculation, that's much different. Meaning if you consciously ejaculate, okay, I'm going to ejaculate, and you ejaculate it, then that's different. But if you unconsciously ejaculate, like, oh, I didn't really want to, but I ended up doing it, then take a look and say, well, what went wrong? Or what was my opportunity for improvement? What triggered it? Well, what triggered it is I saw some stimulating images online. Next thing you know, I ended up on an old porn site that I like, watched a video, and I ejaculated. And then you may think, okay, the trigger was seeing stimulating images and you couldn't resist it at this point, so you went down that rabbit hole. Great. Now ask yourself, what did you learn? Well, what I learned is that where I'm at right now is that stimulating images get me to act upon it, right? So therefore, then you ask yourself, well, so what should I do next? What action step comes out of this learning? And in this case scenario, I would say the action step is there's many different tools that you can research. And I'll actually provide some links in the comments below where you can block out pornographic images. It detects images that may have nudity or sexual content. So before you get to anything, these programs actually block it out, and you would have to take an extra step to unblock it. These are great tools that are helping guys, give up porn addiction, or if you're being bombarded with, adult content, then, this is a great way to start filtering that out. So that's one example of a debrief. Something else could be like, I was actually trying edging. I was trying to transmute my sexual energy and I went too far. And so you could say, well, what didn't work about that? Well, what didn't work about that is I didn't feel the edge quickly. I now have a better sense or gauge of where my edge is, but maybe I need some tools. You say, well, what might be lacking there? Well, you know what? Maybe I should learn how some of the guys are edging or using this technique to learn how to have non-ejaculatory orgasm and learn how to last longer in the bedroom for their partners. And, so I think you get the point. You do this debrief so you can quickly write it down. What worked? What didn't work? Or where were my areas for opportunity? What did I learn? And what will I implement to take me to the next step and then move forward? So that's on a mental platform. On the physical platform, you can do some things to help you bounce back quick. So I wrote a few things down. When you ejaculate, you lose a lot of zinc. So there's a lot of zinc in your semen, a lot of zinc in your semen, and so you're gonna lose a lot of zinc, and that's a large part of why you feel so lethargic after. So nuts, pumpkin seeds, Brazilian nuts, these type of things are really good, full of zinc. Maybe you have a zinc supplement that you can take if you can't get access to. I always promote the most natural way to do it, and then of course there are supplements, being a Hare Krishna, I tend to promote the vegetarian way, but fish and different meats also contain lots of zinc. So, there's those options there if you are eating meat. Make sure you hydrate, drink lots of water and replenish the fluids. It's about 40 to 60 ounces of blood to go into 1 drop of semen. So it's taking a lot of your liquid. So keep yourself hydrated, especially after ejaculation. Drink lots of water, and this will help with the replenishing process of your semen. Maybe get into some kind of like good meal, like a protein, like a quinoa meal, or again, if you're a meat eater, then you'll have many options there. But any kind of like protein for vegetarians, like for myself, quinoa, lots of green veggies, so asparagus, spinach, kale, Brussels sprouts, anything that's really rich green color. Eat lots of that, and that'll replenish your nutrients and give you lots of good protein to work with. You can always do a protein shake, and there you have both animal and non-animal based protein shakes that are available. And maca powder, so it comes from the maca root. You could, I guess, buy the root, but the maca powder has a ton of it's kind of considered a superfood, and it's great for guys, especially after ejaculation, to put that in some of your protein shake or put that into a drink and down it, and it's going to give you a lot of your energy. And this way, if you do what I'm telling you to do within a few days, you'll notice a bounce back in your energy. And of course, the longer that you hold your semen, even when you do ejaculate, or if you ejaculate, you won't notice the dip as much because you'll have actually an excess of ojas, an excess of that energy within you. So the longer you hold when you do ejaculate, it's not as big of a deal. You won't notice this big drop of energy. But if you've been ejaculating lots or constantly, then you can replenish yourself with these nutrients and then take the ejaculation control guide and get into a practice that's going to help you actually retain your semen for longer periods of time. I hope this video helps you. Leave any questions or comments below, and we'll take it from there. I'll see you in the next video.